What's going on, everybody? It's SHW33 pre-show. It's B-Double, GB. We're here with you once again, back at the Action Building for Southern Honor Wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
My voice is barely hanging in there, GB.
Relax.
But I think I can make it through the night. It's been a wild week of Atlanta Braves World Series baseball.
Absolutely.
And I've been hooping and hollering, going crazy.
Shout out to those Braves who are the official world champions, and it just seems to be a new season anywhere around Atlanta. We've got new MLB world champions. We've got a new SHW champion. We've got new SHW tag team champions. And off the heels of Still Here 3, it is now SHW33. And we've got an amazing card planned for you guys tonight. So if you're already making plans or trying to figure out what to do, there's only one place to be on a Friday night. All the Brave celebrations are over. So your post-Brave celebration is right here at SHW33. I'm pretty pumped. It's going to be an amazing night.
That's right. The Owen Knight era is officially going to kick off tonight. Now, he did have a match at SHW Fright Fights last week,
yes,
where he successfully defended the title against the former champ David Ali.
Sure did.
But tonight, we're back home in the Action Building.
Yeah.
I'm hanging in there. Give me a minute. We're back home in the Action Building. And,
it's going to be a night.
It's going to be a long night. We're just getting started. And I'm going to lean on you to call the matches.
Hey.
I'm just going to be in the back going, yep. Yep. That's about all I got. No, but yeah. Officially, we're back home, and it's going to be the official kickoff to the Owen Knight era.
The Owen Knight era of SHW, and I'm intrigued to see what this is going to be, and we'll talk about how long this era could last. But really kicking things off in our conversation tonight is a young man who was a part of the first ever SHW pre-show match last month at Still Here 3. Carly Bravo makes his SHW singles debut tonight against the first ever SHW champion in Kevin Ryan. What do you think we're going to have going on with that one tonight?
I tell you what, now, a lot of people forget about Kevin Ryan being the first ever SHW champion, the inaugural champ.
Yeah.
And, not only that, but then he made waves with Jordan Kingsley, vying for the inaugural tag team championships, as not yet rated. And he's a formidable opponent. And
he is.
I don't know how well Carly Bravo knows Kevin Ryan.
Right.
On the other hand, I don't know how well Kevin Ryan knows Carly Bravo. We talked about Bravo before because he's still in his first year of being a professional wrestler. I mean, we've seen him from the very beginning, his early days, coming through the 12-week camp, the first 12-week camp at the Nightmare Factory.
That's right.
And here he is. He's made appearances on AEW Dark, Dark Elevation. He was here, as you mentioned, last month for the pre-show at SHW Still Here 3. Yeah. And I don't know if he realizes how full his hands are going to be taking on Kevin Ryan. Yeah. And so I'm excited to see because if he can beat Kevin Ryan, I mean, you're beating a former champion.
Absolutely.
In your first singles match here in SHW.
Absolutely.
And that's making a statement right there.
Well, here's the thing for Carly Bravo. Carly Bravo has been in his first year all over the Southeast. We've talked about how he's been on AEW, and he has done a whole lot. In fact, there is really kind of a high prospect on what he can accomplish in the wrestling business. And so finally making his way here to SHW. Listen, if he gets a win over the first SHW champion, honestly, I think that would be indicative of the Owen Knight era, an era of opportunity, an era where the overlook end up really being at a place where now they get an opportunity, It's no longer overkill for those kinds of folks to make their way into SHW. So I think tonight we could have a really interesting thing, and this could really birth the opportunity for Carly Bravo to stand out here in front of this SHW crowd.
Yeah, I'm excited, and I think this crowd is excited. Doors opened at 7 o'clock right when we went on the air here, and the crowd is already flooding in, as always. They've been outside waiting. We got here a few hours early, of course, as we always do, and there's always a line already
which is
outside.
Always amazing.
Which, by the way, some of our fans out there, the same ones that hooked us up with the pizza last time, they're tailgating. They're actually, because it's November, they're doing a Thanksgiving feast. They're doing like a turkey tailgate.
That's amazing. And, shout out to them.
I stopped out there earlier, and we were getting ready to go on the air, so I had to make it quick. just wanted to say hello.
Yes.
And don't worry, he said, hey, we're going to bring in a couple plates.
I love those guys.
We're going to get hooked up. Don't worry.
They're awesome. They are absolutely awesome.
If you're still at home, you've got about 56 minutes until bell time. So if you're anywhere nearby, Canton, Georgia, 261 Marietta Road at the Action Building, come on out and join us. It's family friendly. Bring the whole crew out here and come join us for what is sure to be a great show here at SHW33.
You better believe it. Another big match, literally, figuratively, however you want to look at it, is the Chief, Austin Towers, taking on Michael Judas. Now, these two 7-foot monsters found their way face-to-face, eyeball-to-eyeball in the War Chamber at Still Here 3, and that really sparked off kind of the match we didn't know we needed to see.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm absolutely here for it.
Yeah.
What do you think's going to happen when these two monsters finally collide?
All I know is that I have never seen somebody, I'll just straight up say it, manhandle Austin Towers like Judas did in that War Chamber match. Now, Judas had already been eliminated.
Yes.
He had not left the ring yet.
That's right.
He decided to lay waste to everybody that was still in the ring before he made his way out of the double cage or the double ring surrounded by the cage.
That's right.
The War Chamber.
Yeah.
And he gave him the big overhead throw, the fall-away slam.
He did.
And this is Austin Towers.
Right.
This is a huge individual.
Absolutely.
Being thrown around like that. And you know that not only is he upset because he felt like Judas stole his opportunity to win that title because that caused Towers to end up getting eliminated.
That's right.
Not only that, but the fact that he kind of embarrassed him. The way he did it, he threw him around.
Yeah,
like nobody's ever thrown him around.
He did.
Nobody can throw him around except for Judas, apparently. And you know he wants to get some revenge for that.
Absolutely, he does.
It's going to be – we've said it numerous times because we've got a lot of big dudes here in SHW. We've used the King Kong versus Godzilla comparison multiple times over the years, whenever that movie came out a year or two ago.
Yeah, and it just came out again, like they remade it and things like that.
And so this is definitely living up to that billing, I think.
It is. And I think on top of that, you have two guys who have been kind of the seconds for other people.
Yes.
You know, they have been obviously the seconds for former SHW champions, and they've been the ones protecting, quite frankly, those champions during their championships reigns. Now they both get the opportunity to stand out from those shadows and be their own men and absolutely pursue their singles desires, which obviously includes SHW Gold. And so for these two men, this match has a lot of significance. There is no David Ali. There is no Corey Hollis. Neither of them are anywhere close to be found. Of course, Corey Hollis no longer in the business anymore thanks to what happened at Still Here 3.
That's still hard to believe.
It is very hard to believe. And so that means these two have a very clear path to what they want their singles career at SHW to be. So I think really this isn't just a match of, you know, one-upsmanship. It is them trying to establish their own individual path to perhaps becoming the SHW champion. That makes this a very significant match tonight.
You know, both of them are definitely wanting to stay in that title picture by any means necessary. And whoever wins this match, I'm sure, will be in that conversation for the next few months. But what do we got next?
Well, we'll get into the number one contenders space in a minute. But one of the big things that happened at SHW Still Here 3 was that we crowned new tag team champions.
We did.
And it was controversial,
to say the least.
To say the least. So to bring you up to speed, the now current champions, Zicky Dice and Ashton Starr, had been running around SHW with the stolen versions of the tag titles.
Yeah, claiming.
They claimed they were champions for 2 months. They had stole it. Possession's 9/10 of the law. Well, they did some chicanery, pulled some crazy tricks during the actual title match, and now they are officially the SHW Tag Team Champions. And so, unlike our current SHW champion who has already defended his title once, they won't be defending the titles tonight. Instead, they're going to have separate singles matches against Technical Excellence. So we'll start off talking about Ashton Starr taking on Kyle Matthews tonight. That should be a wild one.
I know both of these guys, and they've gone back and forth on social media over the last few weeks and talking about how early in their careers had faced each other. Now Ashton is saying, I've wanted this match again for so long because I'm a completely different person now.
He is.
And he wants to show Kyle Matthews how far he's come in the years that he's been in the business.
Right.
Now, before we continue, you made me think of something. I want to go back real quick.
Yes.
You talked about the chicanery that happened at the last show that caused Zicky and Ashton to become the new tag team champs.
Correct.
I did receive a text message from senior official Todd Fox just yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Because apparently he had just caught up and had gone back and watched our last episode of this podcast. Where we reviewed and we recapped last month's show.
Yes.
And he heard us talking about how crazy the end of that match happened and how a ref showed up at the end and how come he didn't disqualify them for knocking out the other ref.
Sure.
Well, he let me know that he was in the restroom. And at the last second, he was yelled at from the back, somebody, we need a ref.
Right.
So by the time he got out of here, he had not seen all of the nonsense that had happened. And I'm not trying to cover for him. I'm just letting you know that he sent me a text directly. Because he heard us talking about it on the show. So also, we heard it from some other people in the locker room that apparently watch this show. So we got to be careful what we say sometimes because we were, some people were getting onto us about certain things. But we're just calling it like we see it.
We call it like we see it, and it's good that you're watching. We appreciate that.
We're trying to deliver the news to the people.
Hey.
Anyway, so
it is what it is.
So that was Todd Fox's reasoning for why everything went down the way it went down.
Sure. Well, I get it. I understand. Nobody. And I get it. If you're expecting a referee to cover a match, you think you have time, you can, do what you need to do. I get it. I understand. So I hope that tonight, whoever's involved in this match is able to handle whatever chicanery could happen, because if Ashton Starr is anywhere around, chicanery is guaranteed to follow. There's no question about that.
We have a legendary ref in the house, and I don't know if he'll be reffing these particular matches, but Grandpa Booker T's here, Daryl Hall.
Yes.
One of the legendary refs here in Georgia is here, along with junior official Jeremy Prater. So I don't know who's drawing the straws for which matches, but
it should be a
we'll
good
see.
one.
But hopefully we can maintain control and have a fair fight.
And speaking of control and fair fights, we think about 2021 and we think about Ashton Starr, and I always go back to 2020, that magical moment when he won the SHW championship. And it was only for a short period of time, and he had not held SHW gold again until now. And all of the changes that he has made has been so he can get his hands on SHW gold. Now he has his hands on gold for the longest amount of time in his SHW tenure.
Yeah.
What will he do now? How unbearable will he be now? Now, I will say this. On socials yesterday, he went on and he said, I hope everybody is ready for what I have planned tomorrow night. Now, I'm a little frightened.
I saw your little exchange.
Well, someone, we'll leave him be. I was frightened, and I asked if we needed to be worried. And of course, he tells me I always need to be worried.
Right.
And so I don't know what he's got planned for us tonight, but new champion, new opportunities, anything could happen. But on the other side, let's not at all dismiss Kyle Matthews. 8-time technical wrestler of the year, a guy who, listen, in that tag team was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Tech X by no means is over.
No.
But don't think that this is divide and conquer if you separate the two, because I think they're equally lethal apart than they are together.
Both of them multi-time technical wrestlers of the year.
Listen, Kyle Matthews is so technical, they named the award after him.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, this is going to be an amazing match. And I will say this, for all of the craziness that Ashton Starr does, he gets it done in the ring. It's probably the only compliment you'll hear me say tonight about Ashton Starr. With that said, this could be the match that seals the show tonight.
Well, that one, or on the other side, you have the other half of Tech X, Chip Day, taking on the other half of the tag team champions, Zicky Dice, the outlandish one, who there have been whisperings online that could be the show stealer. But at every SHW show, I know we work here, and it sounds like we're being biased and all this, but I'm telling you, folks. It's like this at every show. Any match could be the match of the night. You just don't know because the card is always that stacked.
That's right.
So, but anyways, Chip Day taking on Zicky Dice. Two guys that I never thought about having a singles match together.
Sure.
But once I saw that it was announced a couple weeks ago, I thought, huh.
Yeah, this makes sense.
That's going to be an interesting match, a really good match.
Absolutely.
And I don't look at Zicky Dice and think a super technical type of wrestler.
Right.
But then again, who's to say he's not? We just haven't seen him in that way yet, so maybe he can hang with him.
Anything we've learned about Tech X as singles competitors or as a tag team, they bring the best out of everybody.
Very true.
I go back to a couple of months ago in the match they had against All-Star Special, where we were just like, okay, these two styles are opposing styles. Clearly, one's going to out-wrestle the other. And we saw a side of All-Star Special that we never saw before.
Yeah.
I mean,
never
knew existed. So to me, I think both Kyle Matthews and Chip Day had the opportunity to bring something out of Ashton Starr and Zicky Dice that perhaps we've not seen before, which can make either of those match of the night contenders. And I think we're going to see something very intriguing between Zicky Dice and Chip Day.
Oh, man. It's going to be fun. I can't wait. We say it every time. I just can't. I'm so excited.
This is why it's great to be here.
I'm so excited for Show Day to get here every single month. And
Absolutely.
here it is once again. Doors opened about 15 minutes ago, which means you have 45 minutes until bell time. And if you're anywhere nearby, like I said, go ahead and get on out here.
Yeah.
You're not going to want to miss it. But we're here.
Yes.
The crowd's flooding in here.
Yes.
Everybody's getting their food, getting their snacks at the concession stand.
Yeah.
Like I said, they're tailgating. We got some food coming in for us on the way that I heard about. I can't wait. The turkey tailgate.
It's on the way.
Can you believe it's already November, by the way?
I can't believe it.
How'd that happen?
This year, compared to 2020, which felt like 10 years.
Yes.
This year.
This is flying by.
It is flying by.
Oh, man.
And so here we are now getting ready for the #1 contenders match.
We touched on it earlier.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is between AC Mack and Gunnar Miller. Now, both of them had very interesting times the last time we were here for Still Here 3. AC Mack, of course, was a part of the War Chamber match, had an opportunity at the SHW Championship, but again, let's just face it, after Judas went on that tirade, nobody was safe.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it caused quick eliminations, AC Mack being one of those. Well, now he gets to be fresh. He gets to be focused, not on multiple men, but on one man for one goal. He doesn't have to try to go through 30 men in a Rumble Jack or anything like that. He's got one man standing in between him and an opportunity at the SHW Championship. The only problem is that one man is Gunnar Miller.
Yeah.
The guy who literally retired Corey Hollis. What do you think's going to happen on this one?
It's hard to say. Two guys who had two totally different experiences and outcomes at the last show.
Yes.
You got AC Mack, a former champ.
Yes.
Former champ who a lot of people think lost his title kind of, not very fairly.
No, he wasn't pinned.
He was not pinned. He lost it in the War Chamber at Still Here 1.
Correct.
After holding on to it maybe for a couple months at that point.
About 83 days or so.
And
84 days.
And then he got a rematch at the very next show with Logan Creed. At the time, Logan Creed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now known as another name.
Very scary guy. The heathen
cruel.
Yeah, make sure you get that right.
Make sure I get that right.
Yeah.
I don't want to be reprimanded.
Don't want to be a victim. There's a whole table over there that could have your name on it.
Well, if we know anything about our pal Zach, the gear guy, he knows firsthand. But anyways, aside from that, Mac did not win the title back, but he had that one rematch. And since then, he really hasn't had too many opportunities at the title.
Yeah.
He was in the War Chamber last month. That was like the first time in a while that he had a shot at the title.
Sure.
He had a good showing up until the point you were talking about where Judas kind of ran amok on everybody.
Right.
But yeah, I think we're going to be surprised here by AC Mack. I think, a lot of people are going to expect Gunnar because Gunnar's coming off of the momentum of the great match. What a great match, by the way. It started the last show, the match between Gunnar and Corey Hollis.
Yes.
And it was an amazing match, and we kept saying, how is anybody going to follow this?
Right.
But it was Still Here 3. Every match was amazing, and it was able to be followed no problem.
Yeah.
But it was still up there with match of the night.
Yeah.
And people think he'll be riding high off of that match, the momentum, and he'll come in here and take care of AC Mack. I'm not so sure, but I don't know.
To that particular point, if I can piggyback on that, it takes me back to, and if you'll just ride with me, guys, let's go back to WrestleMania 24. 24, Orlando, Florida. A certain Shawn Michaels takes on the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Ultimately ends up with the unfortunate task of lose and keep Ric Flair in the business, or win the match and continue to build the legacy of Mr. WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He defeats Ric Flair, but then shortly after that, there's a guilt trip that he rides with.
Yeah.
That ends up really costing him several matches thereafter. My question is, if you're Gunnar Miller, on one hand, yes, we finally get rid of Corey Hollis. On the other hand, do you want the responsibility of having gotten rid of a legend that people have depended on for many years?
Yeah.
Now there's no more of a head to Lethal Poison. Now there's a lot of things that don't exist anymore because Corey Hollis isn't here, and that lies squarely on the shoulders of Gunnar Miller. So you could almost call it buyer's remorse. You could call it, survivor's remorse.
Yeah.
But there's really the thing here where Gunnar Miller may not have as clear of a mind as we might think he may have, because he has to really deal with the fact that, guess what? Your arch nemesis for the last year or so is no longer here.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. So you have that. On the other side, you got AC Mack, who, think about his path this year. Never getting a real fair shake at the championship.
Yep.
And the one opportunity he had was in a tag match with our current SHW champion, where he lost and now could not even gain entry into the Rumble Jack.
Right.
And then he gets a title match, but it's a multi-man match inside of 2 rings with a giant cake. Like, there's nothing that is traditional that you can train for about that.
Right.
So this leads us to tonight. This is why tonight's so important, because AC Mack now has a very direct line to the SHW championship. Beat Gunnar Miller, you're the #1 contender. It's going to be intriguing to see what happens here.
I cannot wait. Well, the winner of that match will go on to face the winner of the championship match, which we're having here later tonight. It will be Owen Knight's, well, I almost said first defense, but it'll be a second defense because, as I mentioned at the top of the show, technically he defended at the special exhibition, SHW exhibition that happened at Canton Fest last weekend.
That's right.
And it was called SHW Fright Fights, where he defended successfully against former champ David Ali. So now the official era begins of Owen Knight, and he'll be here tonight at home in the Action Building, SHW33, defending that title against the one and only Joe Black.
Yeah, so earlier today, for those who don't know, this guy right here happened to be with about 1 million people. He's like, what'd I do?
Where's this going? What'd I do this time?
He happened to be with 1 million people welcoming the world champions home to Atlanta to celebrate their championship win. Tonight will also be a homecoming for the hometown hero, the new SHW champion, the guy who's been overlooked for many years. He's getting his opportunity to come home, and some people would just kind of have a ticker tape parade, come on in, and just bask in the glory of their title victory. Instead, he's defending the title.
He's the working team captain.
He is, and he's living up to every bit of that name.
Fighting champ.
Against a guy who, quite frankly, could end that title reign here tonight.
Yeah.
The era could be over as soon as it starts. Joe Black is by far one of the biggest threats to Owen Knight's title reign ever.
Yeah.
And now he's got him one-on-one here tonight.
And they both knew about this match leading into this, because think about, was it a couple months ago?
It was.
It was kind of an impromptu match where Owen Knight actually got the victory that night in a singles match. Now, that match was just an impromptu.
Sure.
Gary just at the last second said, you know what, you guys, neither one of y'all are doing anything tonight?
That's right.
Go at it.
That's right.
And that was kind of to get everybody prepared for the War Chamber, which came the following month.
Right.
So, Owen Knight had his number that night.
He did.
Can he do it again? But again, this month they've had time to prepare.
Yes. And there are two very different things here. That night, which was about 2 months ago, as you said, was impromptu.
Yeah.
Neither had the opportunity to prepare. And quite frankly, there was nothing but bragging rights on the line. I mean, both of them had already secured their spot into the War Chamber.
Yep.
They weren't going to lose anything if they lost the match. Tonight's different. Tonight's very different. Owen has worked his entire career to be the SHW champion. It could all go up in smoke tonight. And here's the other side of it. Joe Black has had his own set of challenges in trying to regain the championship.
Yeah.
He had challenges in that match against David Ali where he did not submit, he was not pinned, he passed out.
Yeah.
And so now this is a different ball game. So I think you've got to really – and there was an interesting look. If you guys go back and watch Still Here 3 on IWTV, go back and take a look at Joe Black's face while Owen Knight was winning the title. Usually what happens is when you're eliminated from the War Chamber, you leave.
Yeah.
He stayed, and he stayed in the corner, and he watched. And on one hand, I thought, well, man, he's supporting, and he's happy, but maybe he was wondering, do I have an opportunity here? Should I be studying this man if I want to come after his championship? I think this is going to be – we've had so many matches throughout this year that could go up for Match of the Year candidacy. Yeah. On paper, this is one of them.
Absolutely it is. And, you know, to your point, that could very well be what was going through his head. But at the same time, remember when they got up to the stage, he's holding the title up, Owen Knight is, who came back from the back, Joe Black. Right. To hug him, hold his arm up.
Yeah.
And there's just a ton of respect there between the two.
There is.
So this will be very interesting in the fact of who the fans get behind here.
Right.
You know, you've got two guys that the crowd love.
Yes.
And they're facing each other for the richest prize in independent wrestling. And yes, I said it, in all of independent wrestling.
It is what it is. And fight us if you don't believe us.
I mean, I'm just stating facts here.
It is.
But so I don't know. I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see who the crowd's behind. We got a great crowd filtering in here still.
Yes.
And again, we're almost 30 minutes away from bell time. So if you're anywhere nearby, come on out and join us. You're not going to want to miss it.
Right.
A couple shout outs here. I see Jacqueline's watching. She was also at the Braves Parade.
Oh, awesome.
So
awesome.
I don't know. Maybe I saw you down there. There was a million people, so it was hard to tell who was who. But
I'm going to call you a Leo, one in a million.
There
Absolutely.
You go. Kyle Roper, we're going to miss you, buddy. He's not able to join us tonight, but he's watching.
Awesome.
And, of course, David, we said what's up to you. You're out there watching. Jonathan's watching. Thank you guys for keeping up with us here. Timmy, Courtney Beard, obviously.
My dude.
Yeah, he's been watching.
Yes, sir.
Selena. Diana Michelle, she's in the building, and she's watching somewhere.
I love it.
I don't know. Maybe she's backstage somewhere.
Yes.
She's all over the place.
Yes.
Anyways, we love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
And if you're in the building, fantastic. If you're not in the building, you're going to miss a great show, and you still have time to get out here.
Absolutely.
About 30 minutes until bell time. But that's going to wrap us up here on the pre-show. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us.
That's right.
We're 30 minutes away, and I can't wait, and I hope my voice holds up because I've been yelling for the Braves all week. Hey, go Braves. Braves are World Series champions. First time in 26 years.
Absolutely.
And I had to be part of it because you never know. If it's going to be another 26 years,
I don't blame you,
I'll be an old man, and I don't know.
And this is a massive Braves fan, so I'm happy for you. I'm glad you were able to go. And so hopefully your voice holds up, but we're a team. So
we'll make it work. We'll make it work.
You.
I'll be leaning on you.
Absolutely.
Do the play-by-play and the color commentary all at once. You got this, right?
We got it.
Yeah.
We got it.
Well, until we talk to you again next time, this has been SHW. There's no Diana, and it threw me off. Diana chimes in at that point, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me.
I'm like,
let me try this again. Let me try this again. Until we talk to you next time.
Next time.
This has been SHW.
This is our wrestling.